Welcome to the Practical Job Search YouTube channel. My name is James. I'm a certified career development practitioner in Canada. I've been working in the field of career development for 10 years now, and I have what I feel are some really great tips to share with you. On this channel, we will cover all kinds of different job search tips, but we're keeping it practical, keeping it straightforward. The basics of what goes into a good resume, what types of resumes work for you, what are the do's and don'ts to keep in mind when you're writing cover letters and interviews, all of those different types of things. But today I'm going to talk to you about the number one thing that's going to kind of be the core in your job search to see success. So, to cut to the chase, and I'll fill in the details afterwards, the number one thing that I want every one of you watching this video to do in your job search is to build in self-care into your job search routine. Okay, so the reason I say that is if you don't have the self-care aspect of your job search in place, you won't have the consistency you need to get a job. You might luck out and get a job, but it's a real big sea of noise online. I'll pick Indeed, for example. If you're on Indeed Job Bank, if you have your resume pre-uploaded, within probably 3 or 4 clicks of your mouse, you can apply to a job, technically. But your application might not be anywhere near what that actual job ad was looking for. So to do the work that you need to do to tailor your resume towards that job ad. Future videos will talk to you about how to do that, to make sure your cover letter is speaking to what they need and you're really doing your best job at displaying your skills as they relate to that job. That takes work and that takes energy. And if you're doing that and not getting anywhere, that's going to burn you out. And the reality is because it's so easy to apply to jobs in just a few clicks of the mouse, it's harder and harder for employers to kind of sort through the sea of applications to find the really good ones that rise above the rest. Now, of course, there's applicant tracking systems and things like that do come into play, but we can't bank on that. Depending on what employers you're applying to, they may not have any applicant tracking system software in place, and they just might be kind of sorting through. And so you want to make sure that you have the self-care in place to continue on your job search. So what does that look like? Well, I think most practically, I think that you could build in your self-care into your routine. So you might have, Mondays, I'm going to take a couple hours and I'm going to source my jobs. And on Tuesdays, you might say, okay, I'm going to start taking a look through those jobs and prioritizing and making my resume to fit those applications and really trying to help my resume pop towards those. Maybe on Wednesdays, you're doing informational interviews or networking events or job fairs. But somewhere along the line, whichever day you pick or days you pick, put in self-care. Block that in. Treat it as a discipline. Go to the, whether you're going to the gym or you're going for a walk or, you're calling a loved one, you're playing some video games. Do things that build into you and fill your cup back up, because that's what's going to be you're going to need to keep your cup full, because it is draining in job search. It's draining to make the applications. It's draining to do the job search and the networking, and it's draining to not hear back. And the reality is you're not going to hear back from every job you apply to, unless you're only applying to very few and you luck out. But odds are you're going to hear a lot of radio silence, but you just got to keep consistent and keep getting those applications out there, putting your effort in, and then you're going to start to hear back and build that confidence up. But that intermediary time, you're going to be fighting a lot of, okay, I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. Why aren't I getting any calls back? Meanwhile, there might be nothing wrong with you. It just takes some time and consistency to get your applications to rise above and be seen in all of those other applications that are out there. So thank you for following me along this far. I really hope that that practical tip of building self-care into your routine is something that means something to you, that you can actually utilize. It's going to look different for everybody. One thing that I would say is take advantage of free resources in your community. Where I'm at in Canada, there's libraries pretty abundantly. There's always, the great outdoors. You can kind of get out there, video games, family time, whatever it is. Don't go spending a whole bunch of money on self-care unless you're able to. If you have that set aside and it works for your budget, fantastic. But don't feel that when I say self-care, I'm meaning you need to pay a bunch of money and go to the spa and massages and all these different things. There's really practical ways that you can take care of yourself as well. Thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope that it provided a helpful tip. I plan to do many more videos that just give you those just cut to the point advices that you can utilize and put into place right away. If you so desire, please like, comment, subscribe. It would mean a lot to help me get this YouTube channel off the ground. And I want you all to remember that one yes changes everything, right? Just takes one yes and everything can change for the better. Thank you so much.